What's going on, everybody? My name is Tommy. Welcome to today's episode of First Look. Now, if it's your first time, First Look is just simply a quick sneak peek at products that just came out. Maybe it's about to come out. Either way, we're just trying to make sure that you guys have a leg up on what's around the corner. So we've got from LUMENIER version 3 of their LUMENIER Lux Micro Stack. It's a F4 flight controller with a 32-bit ESC stack right underneath it, all 20x20 form factor, 30 amp constant with a 40 amp burst. Awesome to see because, as you know, everything in this industry just keeps shrinking. I couldn't wait to unbox it for you guys. I just had to go ahead and actually just install it straight up into the ACROBRAT frame. So obviously perfect for the ACROBRAT, but because it's doing 30 amp constant, 40 amp bursts, this will also handle your 5-inch build. So if you're trying to build something super small and tight, maybe 20x20 is just what you're looking for, this might be something you want to take a look at. Here we go. I've made a couple of posts about this already. People will be like, you're spelling it wrong. It's called the turtle, not the TURTLET. Alright guys, it says TURTLET on there, right? So I'm not messing up. This is just how CADDX decided to name this product. Let's go ahead and take it out so you guys can see. Now, for you guys that don't know, the CADDX TURTLET, along with the RUNCAM Split Mini, is a camera system that doubles as both your FPV feed as well as record in 1080 HD. One camera that serves two purposes. That's what I'm talking about. So take a quick look at that. It is a single board. Look, it even says right there on the camera itself, it says TURTLET. So it's not just the packaging, it's on the product itself. It's called the TURTLET. It doesn't have the microphone, but the one thing that I do like, actually there's a handful of things that I like, is this lens. This is an M12 lens, which means if you don't like this lens, if you scratch this lens, if you just want something smaller with a smaller field of view, or maybe something wider, you can swap it out. Oh, and it's got a single board too, guys. This is awesome as compared to the Split. And it just so happens that I was waiting to show this one to you guys. Just yesterday, I got this in the mail, and RUNCAM, you know, with the great response from the ACROBRAT frame, which promotes the RUNCAM Split, they came at me and said, hey Tommy, I want you to check out, we've been working on a V2, and here it is. And as you can see, as compared to before, it's still the same camera, still same body, same M8 lens, but they have moved over to a single board. Awesome, because the previous version had two boards that you had to deal with, and it still has all of the cool things like the SD card retainer, which if you don't have something that keeps your SD card in there, use a piece of electric tape, because I'm gonna tell you, the first time you crash, it's just gonna explode and get out of there. But they still got that in here, and also still has a microphone in there. Now what they did get rid of though is the USB. Not a big problem, because these days if you want to do a firmware update, you could just use the SD card. But this is still prototype, guys. Not quite sure when exactly this is coming out. Just know that this is around the corner. Be on the lookout for that. Next up, from the FPV GEEK. And now this product is called Just a Switch Plus. Now, some of you use Fat Sharks. They just don't believe in putting a power switch in there. Why? It's just one extra thing to break. And so they just leave it as a barrel connector. Me personally, it doesn't really bother me. But for some people, I can understand why they would be looking for a power switch, because maybe you stick your goggles in there, you set them down and you forget. I've done that plenty of times. And so they've got a solution, but what they've got here is something that goes into your strap of your goggles. Now you plug your 2S battery into there, and you can go ahead and plug this guy over into the fan if you like to run that, and then you can leave this permanently attached into the side of your goggles, and then you've now got this wonderful switch. There is an LED indicator on there so that you can figure out if you're about to lose your battery. Once again, that is Just a Switch Plus from the FPV GEEK. Ladies and gentlemen, new batteries. Well, it's not exactly super new. These have actually been out for a little bit now. But I'm really excited about these Thunder Power batteries because here's the old 1500 5S pack. Here's the new one. Massive difference in size and weight, and thank God, because I really like these packs actually. I just wanted them a little bit smaller, you know, kind of like this size. And check this out, because I know 6S is the new hot thing coming around. This is their 6S 1100 pack, and if you look at the size difference, they're pretty much the same. So check these out from Thunder Power for you guys that are running 5S, 6S batteries. These are the new Rotor Riot blindfolds. Just kidding, these are for your goggles, fellas. This is This is from HOTDOG FPV. Now they went ahead and made us a custom strap, which I love. This, I'm all about this. So these are thicker, which means it'll be a little bit more comfortable on the back of your head. It's gonna look something like that. But no joke, guys, check that out. It is a nice, comfortable band. And if you don't like this design, just know that HOTDOG FPV has several designs, and they'll even make you guys some custom ones, so go check them out. HOTDOG FPV. You guys already know that the ACROBRAT frame is out, but what I wanted to draw your attention to were these guys right here. These are the new BRAT motors. Now this is a collaboration motor between HYPETRAIN and ROTORX. Now the guys at ROTORX have been in the micro game for a really long time, so arguably they know what they're doing over there, and we decided to work with them to come out with a power system that complements the ACROBRAT. Now this is a 1407 4140 kV that'll weigh only 13 grams, more or even less. It just depends on how much wire you're gonna leave on there, and it's a T-style prop mount. Again, the whole thing was just designed to deliver ultra smooth performance, and that it delivers. So check that out if you guys are running a small 3-inch or even less build. So while we are talking about motors, what goes well with them are props. These are the new 3x4x3 props from HQ. Now Zong over at HQ sent me this the other day saying, hey, there's a lot of people that have been liking the 3x4x3. I'm one of them. I actually prefer the 3x3x3, just a little bit lower pitch. But apparently they wanted to strengthen the area around the hub, and so that they did, and now the new 3x4x3 is out, so check that out for all you guys running 3 inches. And that is where the improvements are at, folks, right at the hub. All right, guys, you guys familiar with this packaging? I know you know, the one and only RACEKRAFT. This is their new V2 of their 5051 prop. Very interesting because it looks like they have decided to go towards a more traditional profile. When I say traditional, just something that looks a little bit more like what you would see from like HQ and GemFan, and they still retain that signature RACEKRAFT prop tip curve, right? Like RACEKRAFT was the first people to do that, yeah? Notice the notches over there? You know what that means. This is Popo compatible. Now for those of you that don't know, Popo, P-O-P-O, is a system that LUMENIER came up with, which is a quick prop swap mechanism whereby if you've got a Popo equipped motor, you just push a little button, you slide this prop on, you give it a little twist, and it locks in place. And when you need to swap it out, you just do the same thing. Push it a little button, give it a little twist, and the whole thing comes out. So it's nice to see that more prop companies are adopting that Popo system. Take it for what it's worth. RACEKRAFT Props 5051 V2. Check it out. While we're on that prop tip, back to that company called HQ. This is the 5.1 by 3.1 by 3. So HQ has decided to go ahead and jump into that whole 5.1 game. It seems to be the general consensus that 0.1 actually makes a pretty big difference when it comes to these props. And they also decided to keep the pitch low at 3.1, which I'm a big fan of because it means that it doesn't require as much torque and power to actually spin the prop. But I think that they've found a nice combination here of 5.1 and 3.1, because normally I'm used to seeing a pitch advance ratio somewhere between 4.3 to like even 5 from HQ and many other manufacturers, and they decided to dial it back. Looking forward to trying these out. And one more thing as I'm looking at this right now, this too, Popo. It's like Popo everywhere right now. Good to see that a lot of prop manufacturers are adopting that. One last thing. All right, here we go. This is from Brain 3D. A lot of us in this industry, we like to protect our carbon. One of the ways of doing that is by having some 3D printed parts to protect things like your motor arms. If you bought an ACROBRAT frame and you want to protect it, you can get these motor bumper guards, which obviously go right here and it'll protect that part. You can also get this front bumper, which goes on the front of this right here to protect that piece of carbon. And then lastly, they have a bunch of options for mounting antennas in the back. Now this is your more traditional V-style antenna, where you can mount your SMA antenna there. I'm just using a little linear dipole. And then you mount your antennas here. And I like this version if you're building a basher because it just keeps everything nice and compact. So when you hit something and it tumbles, it just kind of stays within its own ball. But I've recently been playing with long range on these systems, and I asked them, you know what, it'd be better to have an antenna that goes up this way and then one back this way for the people running, say, like a crossfire antenna. He does make another one. Here's the Immortal T-mount, and this works, but when you're going really far, this starts pointing your way, and this is the null side of that antenna. And it can be kind of heart-dropping when you see your RSSI drop if you're far away enough. So the solution to that is to have an antenna mounted vertically, which is what this mount right here solves. So this is gonna mount on the back like so, and as you can see, it's got a hole that's gonna go up, so that way your antenna will be up that way and one back that way. So that way when you're far and you go to bank, your antenna is still pointed this way. So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, guys, my name's Tommy. I'll check you guys out on the next one.